You'll have to excuse me, I'm sitting in the car with the aircon running because it's pretty warm today. I've got a tyre pressure monitoring system to install in the 300 series and I thought I'd tell you guys about it. It's the iCheck TPMS. It's the same brand tyre pressure monitoring system that I've ran for a number of years, but this model's a little bit different and it's got a couple of features that set it apart from anything else that I've seen. I'll show you how to install it. I'll show you what's in the box and I'll tell you why I think it's better than anything else. So what have we got? There's a manual there, which I've had a read of already. There's the actual monitor itself. It's got a solar panel on top, so it's totally wireless. Doesn't have to be wired into anything. That's a little anti-slip mat that you can stick it on your dash. I'm going to use that for now, but later when I've got a dash mat, I'll probably just stick some Velcro underneath this. Now, as you can see, I've got the 10 tyre set up. These come in a 5 tyre, a 8 tyre, or a 10 tyre. So the idea is that 5 tyres just for your full wheels on your car and your spare. 8 tyre would be for a single axle caravan, and a 10 tyre, which I've got, is for a dual axle caravan. So it includes a spare on your car and the spare on your van, which is nice. Now these have already got batteries inside them, but if you ever do need to do a battery change, that is the little tool that you use to change the batteries. iCheck sell replacement batteries. They also sell replacement sensors if you lose any. And then in here, that's the little dust boots that we'll put on in a second. There's some O-rings, there's a charging cable. Like I said, it's solar powered, but there is a charging cable there should you ever need it. I never have in the past. Little 12 volt cigarette plug to USB for the charging cable. And there's some lock nuts and some O-rings. I've never used the lock nuts before. I guess the idea is it's to stop people from pinching your sensors or them falling off. It's never happened to me. And I've got my sensors on and off all the time when I'm deflating my tires to go off-road. So I just couldn't be bothered doing that. But there is a tool in there as well to get the lock nut on and off. So everything, absolutely everything you need to install this and to use this is here in this kit. Now, we'll stick this on the dash. The instructions tell me the first time you use it, you hold these 2 buttons for a couple of seconds and it should power on. Let's have a look. It's very sticky. That's it for installing the monitor. Like I said, I'm going to stick some Velcro underneath it when I've got the dash mat. I'll Velcro it to the dash mat. But the little non-slip pad actually works really well. It's the first time I've used that. Anyway, I've grabbed some sensors for the car wheels and the rubber dust boots. Like I said, I don't use the locking nuts, so I don't need those. The seals, the spare O-rings there are if you change the batteries inside these things, I'm pretty sure. So I don't need to use them yet either. They'll just stay inside in the study or the shed or whatever. Let's bang these 4 sensors on and then I'll show you how to set it all up. The instructions will actually tell you which sensor goes on which tyre, on the vehicle and on the trailer. That's it for installing the sensors. Now, one thing you need to know, if you're going to be towing a dual axle trailer, you'll almost certainly need to also purchase the signal booster, which is another 50 or 60 bucks, whatever it is. I have definitely needed that on my dual axle caravan. It depends how far your last sensor is from the unit itself. But yeah, in my experience, I definitely needed that, especially for a dual axle van. All right, as you can see, straight away it's picking up the temperature and the pressure of the car. You can toggle between car and van. Obviously the van's not connected. I haven't connected the spare wheel on the car either. That's the spare wheel there. Now this will just toggle through automatically, so you don't have to manually do that. If you just wait, it goes through. So you can see temperature and pressure of the tires there already. So the iCheck TPMS does 3 things better than any other TPMS that I've seen. The first thing is you don't have to set it up. So like that's what you've seen me do in this video is literally the full install, the full setup. There was no wiring. You don't have to set values for the alarm, like for a high pressure threshold, low pressure threshold, temperature thresholds. It's all preloaded into that unit already. And the way that it does that is that whatever the pressure was when you put the sensor on initially, that first time just now, that becomes your benchmark pressure. If that pressure increases by more than 25%, or if it decreases by more than 15%, that's when it's going to trigger an alarm. So I don't have to stuff around with setting any of that up. That's all done automatic. Now the second feature that's awesome about this TPMS goes off the back of what I just talked about then. Every time you take that sensor on and off, it resets your benchmark pressure. Now what's awesome about that for someone like me, and probably for many of you as well, every time I go off-road, I go beach driving, I drive on gravel, corrugated roads or whatever, and I pull that tyre sensor off and I put my deflators on and I lower my tyre pressures, when I screw that sensor, tyre pressure monitoring sensor back on, that is resetting the benchmark pressure to whatever it is. So let's say I air down from 40-pound road pressures to 25-pound on a corrugated gravel road. As I've taken the sensor off to deflate and put the sensor back on, my benchmark pressure is now 25-pound. So if it goes over by 25% or under by 15%, it sets an alarm off from there. That's really clever. It's super handy for someone like me that's pumping up tyres and deflating tyres, fairly regularly. It also means that you just get less false alarms, less beeping. Other TPMS systems drive you nuts because as soon as you lower your tyre pressure to go off-road, it thinks you've got a flat and it beeps at you like mad, and you've either got to change your alarm thresholds or they've got an off-road mode or whatever. This one's smarter and it just works better. You get less false alarms. It's not beeping at you all the time. It's set and forget. You don't have to think about it. If it's beeping at you, something's wrong. Now, the third reason why I reckon this is better than anything else is something that iCheck call Instadata. So normally tyre pressure monitoring systems don't give you accurate readings from your tyre sensors until you're in motion and they can detect momentum. So generally speaking, you jump in your caravan after 3 months, you go driving off down the road and it's telling you your caravan tyres are at 40-pound until it gets to like 25 k's an hour or whatever at the end of your street. And then it tells you, oh shit, one of your tyres is actually at 20-pound. It's dropped 20-pound because you've got a leaky valve or a leaky bead or whatever. But you're not going to know that until that tyre got up to speed and there was enough momentum for it to trigger to send you an accurate reading. Now the iCheck one differs because even when you're not in motion, it pings off a signal to every sensor that's within its range every 5 minutes to get an accurate reading. So when you jump in your car, by the time you've hitched up your caravan, it's connected and you've got an accurate reading on your monitor before you even take off. So I really like that feature. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, Sam from iCheck, the bloke that owns the company, is running a wicked deal for us. If you use my discount code WILD and you buy the 5 tyre, the 8 tyre or the 10 tyre, any of the iCheck TPMS systems, he will give you 10% off with my discount code as normal. You get free shipping with a purchase that big anyway, but he's going to throw in a free set of these iCheck deflators. These are the automatic deflators I use. You'd have seen them heaps of times on my channel. I've done dedicated review on these. I've compared them to other deflators. These are the best. They're awesome. They've got inscribed pressure markings on them, so you can fine tune them to set them to the pressure that you want. And they're automatic. You screw them on and they deflate until they get to your set pressures and then they stop. They're super accurate, they're super consistent, they are better than any other deflator on the market. This is really good kit, guys, and this is a wicked offer. It's only running for 7 days, so from today until next Saturday. If you use WILD in the discount code at checkout section, you'll save 10% off the TPMS, you'll get that free gift, you'll get free shipping. That's a really good deal. That's only why stocks last. He said he should have heaps of these, so you should be all right, as long as you're within that 7-day period. That's it, guys. iCheck TPMS. I told you it'd be a quick one. It's super easy to install and it works really well. Once I got my dash mat, I'll Velcro it down. And there you go. Cheers, guys. I'll see you in the next one.